Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Gabriel Yo as our lead discussant today. Gabriel, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, John. John, thank you.
All right. It's not going to be a presentation type of webinar. It's just a panel discussion. And here is just one panelist, that's Gabriel. So Gabriel, I will be throwing in some questions for you to elaborate on them, and the participant will draw inspiration from the learning from your organization on the use of digital strategies for organizational performance, sustainability, and resilience. All right, Gabriel, we want you to briefly tell us how your organization, Megodiya Center for Youth Development, has benefited from scale intervention over the years, and where was Megodiya before now?
Okay, thank you so much, John. Thank you, participants. Yes, Megodiya Center for Youth Development is a CSO based in Jalingo, Taraba State, and is basically into health system strengthening, health budget advocacy, and issues of maternal and child health. And the organization has, since its inception in 2005, has been intervening at local scene to make lives better in order to meet its objectives. But the organization was just there doing some local interventions till we come in contact with SCARE in 2001. And we commenced work with SCARE on the SCARE project in 2002. And since then, the operations have not remained the same, because SCARE team was able to let us know that we could actually be a global organization, even not minding where we're located, provided we strengthen our systems, provided we're able to meet up all the requirements that any international organization could have. And so our interaction with SCARE has actually really changed our perception, changed our operational capacities, changed the way we see things, and changed our advocacy engagement and almost everything. In fact, it's a story that cannot be told in one day. So our interaction with SCARE is something else, because it has really transformed us from what we were doing. Now, how we see things and how we conduct ourselves and how we approach things has completely changed based on our interaction, encounter with the SCARE project. Yeah.
Thank you, Gabriel. I want to ask a follow-on. If a participant, if you have questions for Gabriel, you can wait till the end of this particular section, and you can also drop your questions on the chat box as we go ahead. Gabriel, SCALE is a strengthening civic advocacy and local engagement project implemented by Palladium, and with over 13 resource partners and over 23 anchor partners and about 176 cluster members. And SCALE have a very unique approach to its intervention. And such approach is, one of such approaches is the conducting organizational capacity assessment. So we want to know in the specific terms, how has that organizational capacity assessment conducted by SCALE actually help Megodiya Center for Youth Development to be self-aware, to know where it was and where it's going to in a very specific term? Maybe you can pick up some items. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Over.
Thank you so much, John. Yes, as I said, Megodiya Center has been in operation doing interventions, But when SCARE, through its resource partner, we conducted organizational capacity assessment on the organization, we were able to understand that the operations we were doing and all interventions we were doing, we were not really right. Yes, SCARE didn't condemn us, but they gently let us understand that we can do better, can do far better if we have some specific things in place. Yes, we had a CSC and we were duly registered and we were working. But even that CSC, the annual filing of it, we didn't look at it then as something that is so important that we keep us really current and all of that. It was through that OCA assessment conducted by its SCARE resource partner that led us into seeing that we must have to do that. That was number one. And so many other, even legal requirements, like registration with EFCC, making sure that we comply with PENCOM, making sure that we comply with Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund, housing, and all of that has welfare packages for our staff. So that opened our eyes to a level that these are compliances that must be done for one, a Nigerian CSO to, because even foreign donor agencies want to see us. SCARE was able to let us know that donor agencies want to see us have this compliance, at least these basic ones, for us to should be seen to be obeying our own laws in our country before they will have a partnership with us, seeing that they are partnering with somebody, an organization that is legally recognizing its own country. It is only then that you'll be able to become a global player. And SCARE did not just stop at that. When these gaps were identified, there were so many, from governance to legal requirements to financial management and procedures. All of these things were identified, and we gently agreed to. SCARE did not just leave us at that. SCARE now continued to mentor and coach us through these processes. Some of the processes even required some finances, like processes like the insurance for the staff and all of that. SCARE did not just stop at that. It provided us the enabling environment to be able to achieve them. And by the time we started doing them, they have become something that we can advocate for others and see that, yes, because you will have we begin to have a breath of fresh air, thinking that now, yes, we are doing the right thing in all ramifications, and we could be able to tell others, both government stakeholders we're engaging with and other partners who are not yet, maybe who have not come to this level, to know that this is the right thing to do. And we will become a group that can mentor others within the cycle. We have done that to several persons. The first thing that came up was the issue of conflict of interest for our then executive director. And within 2 months, he was able to give way. We changed the leadership. That was one of the major changes that took place after the OCA 2. And we could see how clear rules were put in place and how it has enabled us to implement even the SCARE project better and other projects around us. And we now assumed a role that we could be where people could come to ask us how to go about their own activities within the locality, and we're able to put them through. So we feel that, yes, that OCA assessment has done us what we can, it will be difficult to really describe, because it has changed our perception about the development sector entirely. It has changed our financial, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we do things. And up till now, we could live to tell stories about that first encounter, because it was almost a disaster, because you will see that a lot of things haven't operated from 2005 to 2002, when we had that encounter with SCARE. We had operated for years, and we had done interventions. We had done a lot of interventions in our catchment area, Adamawa, Taraba, Bauchi, and all of that. We did interventions in education, we did interventions in health, we did intervention in the WASH program, where we had some impact. But this impact, when our eyes were opened by the SCARE project, we now discovered that this impact would have been better reported or presented when we ourselves, who are trying to do things right, are doing things right by ourselves. And now that confidence has been given to us by SCARE. So now we feel that we can operate at any level because of our interaction with SCARE and that assessment that happened. Because we changed leadership, our leadership structure now can compete globally, and we have no fears to say that, oh, we're hiding something. We have clear lines. We have the leadership that is doing day-to-day running of the organization. We have the board with clear rules and all of that. So for us, the SCARE project is something that we could always continue to talk about. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Thank you. Awesome. It is heartwarming to know the little effort we are making from this and the impact it's having on the organization like yours, and multiplying effect is having on other organizations you are also trying to build their capacity. And it is also heartwarming to know that you have been able to comply with the Eastern statutory regulation through the intervention of scale, and the whole structure in your organization, especially leadership and governance, has been rejected from better position for sustainability, resilience, and performance. Thank you. Away from briefly away from scale intervention now, I want you to, in your own perspective, to let us know how platforms like Organizational Development Summit. Organizational Development Summit is a flagship summit or event of scale project, and it's being held annually. And this year, that is coming up on June 25th and 26th, will make it the third year we're having that summit. So we want to know from your own perspective how a summit like that, Organizational Development Summit, and also African Social Impact Summit, has helped your organization, has helped you to create some sort of a nexus between civil society, that's your organization this time around, and the private sector. So how has that helped your organization and the whole, by extension, the civil society to connect better with the private sector? Thank you. Over.
Yeah, thank you.
Gabriel, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. John. Yes,
all right.
These summits that you've mentioned and more that SCARE has organized has enabled us to interact. You know, one of our goals, one of our core values is collaboration. And those summits have enabled us have that connection that we actually need to be an organization that can play globally. At all these summits and ASIS, as you say, and others like RISE, we were able to strategically connect with other partners that even private sector organizations are some of them that now enable us see this development work as not something that you will just be doing small interventions in a locality and feel you are doing it, creating impact. We had contact with organizations that have been there and organizations that are coming up, and organizations that can even support us in various ways to achieve success in what we're doing, to enhance what we have been doing. And so those platforms have provided, apart from these connections, the learning that you get from other people's experiences, practical ones, have enhanced our capacity in no small measure in trying to let us learn from other people's experiences and all of that. Yes, our organization has stayed on for 19 years now, but we had no such opportunities of interacting with people at that level. When SCARE organized OD Summit, and the last one of last year, ASIS, and then RISE, at those forums, strategically, people will speak up, and then you will now know this is what people are doing, this is what this person is doing, and all of that. It gave us the opportunity to really interact with these people, to connect. And a lot of people tend to also like what we were doing, surprisingly. So we now understand that this care package is something, it's a wholesome package that is meant to really take us to where we see in a hurry being. These interactions are beginning to yield fruit. Maybe as discussion continues, we'll be able to mention some, but it has given us a perspective that is different from where we were just trying to before. One perspective was that as a CSO, you write a proposal, and if you're lucky, you get one, and then yes, we were writing and getting some to do interventions, as I said, in education, health, primary education, and WASH issues, and orphans and vulnerable children interventions that we did in the past. But now, with these interactions with people of different kinds, both the private sector and other colleagues, organizations that are CSO and all that, we were able to really have good contacts that is enhancing our operations. Anytime we need anything, we need any experience, we place a call across any organization to enhance what we're doing. And some organizations too, from these contacts, have benefited from us. Surprisingly, when we thought that we were operating at a local level, at least when people see our profile, they saw that, oh, we've done one or two things. And then how do we do it and all of that? So that sharing, that connection has really helped. Not only us, it has helped some of the persons that we had contact with too, because from time to time, someone will call and say, okay, how have you come across this? How have you done this and all of that? So we feel that, yes, we are playing better now based on some of these summits that we have attended, both physically and virtually, because we give priority to, even when they are virtual, what we do again is that we make sure that we connect in the office, and all our staff, all our staff participate. And that has helped. Even those that will go physical is just maybe one person who will come back will do step down. But the virtual ones, all our staff participates in the room, and we finish and brainstorm on what we have participated, what we have heard. This is how we should be conducting ourselves and all of that. So over these 2 years that we've been with SCARE, it has not, all our staff, our lives have never remained the same. Our thinking towards development work has never remained the same, and all of that. So it's a wonderful perspective that SCARE has introduced us into.
All right. Thank you very much, Gabriel. I know you're a communicator, and we allowed you speak for 3 hours on the road. Thank you. Awesome experience. And with what you say, is that the OD Summit, Organizational Development Summit, for 2 consecutive times that has been held, and even the African Social Impact Summit has impacted positively on your organization, especially the summit has provided some sort of connection, a platform where you connect with the leading players in this development sector and also private sector. And more importantly, you leverage on the expertise of others during such summits, and not ending there, which is more important to me. trickling down this effect to other organizations around you, because there's no how such summit can accommodate all the organization in Nigeria, or scale can impact on all organization in Nigeria. But that multiplier effect, that if you collect, you also give it a cascade or the training down to other organization, is very important. All right, I don't know, you did mention something on resources. I don't know whether you want to speak to around resource mobilization, how you have repositioned your organization and able to get more or increase the frequency of the proposal that you've written, and also how you leverage this platform to own the skills of your proposal writing team to win more grants for your organization.
Thank you so much. Yes, these numerous trainings that SCARE has organized for us, for the organization, even the anchor the cluster organizations with us. Same again. We have attended so many of such, including management, and all of this equipped us with the knowledge to see various other ways for mobilizing resources apart from where there's an opportunity enough for, and that we were used to. Now, with those background, we have seen different ways now to mobilize resources, one of which in-kind resources to still create impact in the lives of the people. And one example of such is when after sector engagement, we were able to approach the net bank, because of course all the funding we're dealing with, we told them, okay, let us partner and do something. Our contribution and their contribution too to the life for money. We said, okay, can you procure, and the day is World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Intervene to, like, okay, yeah, sorry.
I think your line is breaking. Go ahead.
All right, so you could see their response. They were quick at agreeing to it and get these resources in kind, not money. But then we got these resources. Girls' school with over 1,000 girls, and intervene, and not just. We came with our experts on female wave. But sometimes they could find it difficult to. At the time our experts had discussions with them in the presence of their own. Shocked to see how these girls were coming, challenges that they face.
Mr. Gabriel, hello? You break intermittently.
No, it's network.
Okay,
it's network. Because that should be.
Okay, if that continues, we can actually off our camera, if that will bring a better reception. All right, go ahead.
Better. It's all right. So you could see that the way for themselves and the challenges that they face that could turn them moody sometimes in school, and they won't even. The school authority was surprised to hear them speak like that, because the expert was able to touch on names. It's not only when you just get resources, I mean money, to be able to intervene in things, but then and when you demand interventions like that, collaborations, and it is not about money most of the times, it gets to the donor. The donor feels it, or the partner feels more comfortable that what you are doing is impact on the lives of the people. And that was what Zenith Bank did with us. And they were very happy after the program. It's something that they couldn't have thought of it. But this is very strategic because it creates them the opportunity to interact with the girls, maybe probably to also enhance their own business. Could open accounts.
Okay. Sorry, please, Gabriel. I think at this point, can we off our camera and see if we have a better reception?
Yes. Better reception. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and I want you to speak specifically.
Yeah. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. I want you to speak specifically on that Zenith Bank in-kind contribution to your organization. I did not get that point. I don't know whether the audience get that point. Hello, Gabriel. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now. Switching off camera makes it even worse. Okay, I think Gabriel, do you want to switch network? Okay, audience, we give Gabriel maybe one few seconds to switch network to see if that works. Hello, Gabriel.
Yes, yes.
Okay, as we wait for Gabriel, I think Gabriel has been able to articulate very properly how the intervention of strengthening civic advocacy and local engagement project has benefited its organization, Nigerian Center for Youth Development, that the intervention has repositioned the organization for performance and sustainability resilience. And he also went as far as telling us how he has benefited from the flagship event of scale project, which is the Organizational Development Summit and African Social Impact Summit, and how his organization has been able to use that as a nexus to connect with the leading players in this development sector and also in private sector. And he was telling us about how such platform has provided a place for them to receive in-kind contribution from private corporate bodies such as Zenith Bank. It was at that point that network took him off. So Gabriel, if you are back, we can continue.
Thank you, Mr. John. Yes, I'm back.
Very good. So I think you can see on your camera, let's see. And we want you to speak specifically because we couldn't get that well on the in-kind contribution you've received from Zenith Bank. So we take it from there. Over.
All right. Thank you so much. I said, the in-kind support we got from Zenith Bank came about when we had trainings on resource mobilization and also on private sector engagement. So putting this into practice, we quickly approached Zenith Bank to see that we are able to, the word hygiene or menstrual hygiene day was coming up. And so we approached Zenith Bank to see how we can collaborate to intervene, to create impact in the people around us. And Zenith Bank quickly, after having written to them, they have approved the donation of sanitary pads to us, not money, but then sanitary pads, and then we use our own resources to get. We went there with our experts on gay child, and that was how these experts were able to, before distributing the sanitary pads, we were able to have a talk with these girls on hygiene, on their menstrual hygiene. That was where both us and Zenith Bank were able to see, and then the school authority and the teachers were able to see that there are certain things that will happen to these girls that will turn them moody sometimes, that they could not even be able to talk to their parents or their teachers. Well, because an expert was able to touch on these things from experience, and you will see them come up to speak. Everybody was shocked at the impact this intervention created. And after we distributed this sanitary pad to the people, we were all fulfilled and satisfied with the impact that it has created in the lives of the little girls, over 1,000 girls. And that also opened our eyes to see that it mustn't be money that you will access to be able to create impact in the lives of people. And we also understood that if it is money we had written to Zenith Bank to give us, maybe to go and do this intervention, it may take longer than when we wanted to collaborate on a physical thing. So for us, it's a learning that we have adopted, that now we could actually get materials, resources that could enable us create impact as an organization, not necessarily money. And that is a great learning that we have taken, which I believe another person too can take, and it will help their organization.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gabriel. The learning also from this part is that the organizations, especially those who are participating on this webinar, while doing their mapping, the mapping of their possible donors and potential donors, you should also move into to know the corporate social, the focus of the corporate social responsibility of those private sectors, so that you can key in easily. Yeah, Gabriel, thank you very much. And we are back to the meat of today's meeting and into this rapidly evolving business landscape. Digital strategies have become essentials for organizations, CSO, BMOs, faith-based organization, aiming to achieve sustainability and foster innovation. So integration of digital technologies, as it were, not only streamlines operations, but also drives growth, organizational performance, organizational effectiveness, organizational sustainability, and resilience. So we want you now, which is the meat of today's webinar, we want you to narrow down to the some of those in-kind support or cash support or grant that you have received from these donors that has helped you to leverage digital tools for organizational sustainability. So you speak to this. I think this is the meat of the meeting. So over.
Thank you so much, John. Yes, as we are becoming used to the in-kind support and its impact on our organization, one of the scale organized activity in Lagos, ASIS, last year, particularly August 10 to 11, in partnership with Stallion One Foundation, had organized ASIS, and SCARE invited its own partners, the anchor partners from across the nation, to attend the summit. And SCARE did not stop at that, had a section that had a lot of donors, private sector, donor organizations, the media, a lot of people to participate within that. And then our own our partners, its own partners to also interact with these people on what interventions they have that can be of help to the organizations. It was there at that
Gabriel? Gabriel?
Yeah, I'm here. One of the organizations.
We lost you about
Yes,
about few seconds ago.
Few seconds. Yes, so, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So one of the organizations that participated in it, Microsoft, we had contact with Microsoft. In fact, they used the opportunity to tell the CSOs the resources that they have. That is not money, but can be of help to organizations, especially in the digital world. We're living in a digital world, and that can help in sustainability of the organizations. So we had contact with Microsoft, and shortly after, we now apply to have access to their resources. And I must say here that because at that point, SCARE had already coached us to have the requirements that any organization can have. And then our leadership structure, every of our structure systems were already being coached to a level that we cannot be said to be an organization that is not obeying laws. Then after a thorough assessment, the Microsoft, a tech giant, was able to now give us a grant that covered all their packages, a lot of their packages, email, Teams, the one that we're currently using to do this meeting, Azure, and also Microsoft 365. And all these packages are geared towards enhancing our communication, both internal and external communication, and enhancing our visibility. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So,
okay, I think Gabriel is off again. Network is terrible from his end. Apologies, dear participant. I think what Gabriel was saying was that during one of, hello, Gabriel.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, all right, right on. Yeah, fine.
Thank you so much. So I said at ASIS, that is the African Social Impact Summit, which was organized by Sterling One Foundation, SCARE sponsored the anchor partners to be there, and SCARE also had a section that had all these global players and tech organizations, and one of them was Microsoft. It was there that we had contact with Microsoft. Microsoft, too, used the opportunity to tell the SCARE anchor partners what resources they have that could lead to sustainability and development efficiency of the CSOs. It was there that we strategically connected with Microsoft. Afterward, we applied to them to have these resources. After a thorough assessment of our organization, which of course SCARE had already built our capacity to a level that everybody see us as an organization that they can partner with and be proud of. So we were accepted, and we were given a 10-year grant to have access to packages free of charge for 10 years. Some of these packages include Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Azure, Microsoft 365, and other packages, and emails, including emails, which have enhanced our both internal and communication with our partners globally. So this partnership has come with a lot of benefits. One, we do it now whenever Microsoft organize any webinars, we are participating in those webinars, and it is like a partnership that is also doing a lot for our organization. You know, yes, we know them as tech giants globally, and having come to have a partnership with us, we know that it was not just that the SCARE connected us with them, but before connecting us with them, SCARE was able to build our capacity to be able to be accepted by such a tech giant. And that partnership is giving us joy, I must tell you, because if you give us money now too, we'll be able to spend it, and within maybe years, we will still be looking for more money. But this one has enhanced our sustainability capacity in a way that we will not be scared that anything can happen to our organization now, because the packages that we have, Azure, which are able to give us the enablement to do computing of this thing, for storage of our documents and all of that. So many of them, then Microsoft 365 and all of these packages combined are giving us the hope that our continuity is guaranteed and is so important for us. So we can say all thanks to SCARE for not just taking us to connect with people who, when they want to now check who we are, they will now begin to see lapses. SCARE has already strengthened us to a point before calling us to go, and then we use that opportunity to strategically connect with people that even 24 hours, we know that our visibility across the globe is enhanced through their operations, because they put us in their own calendar at every occasion they're organizing with the tech assistance, with the digital assistance. We participate in their activities, and it's building, it's adding to our capacity. So it is unquantifiable at the point we're interacting with Microsoft at the moment. Thanks to SCARE.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Gabriel. Having such grant that grant your organization unfiltered access to a Microsoft platform for 10 years, platforms such as Azure that you use for storage, email, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 360. This is not a small mean achievement. You said in your presentation, you also mentioned that this has repositioned the organization and also enhances the visibility of the organization and even the corporate communication, both within and external communication. So I want to know if organization is not like, if it is not Megodiya Center for Youth Development now, and for the benefit of our audience, how can they key into this package by Microsoft? So what are the requirements when at the point of giving you the grant to have this unfiltered access to their platform for 10 years, 10 good years? So what were the requirements, and how do you advise how will you recommend the CSO who are participating on this webinar to go about it to get this access? And also you can also talk more on the benefits of this platform. You've mentioned enhances corporate communication, visibility, and the rest. Yeah, over.
Thank you so much, John. Yes, the report.
Gabriel? Hello, Gabriel?
Yes, I can say that.
Okay. After my question, the last question, we did not hear you at all, so you can start from there.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah. Almost all the anchor organizations, based on our interaction, whenever SCARE calls us together, you will see that they could have the requirements enough to be able to access this grant. The SCARE team did not just take us there. They were able to coach us, and I know that is how they've been coaching other organizations too. Even cluster organizations under the anchor organizations are coming to that point based on the coaching I watched going on. So the requirements were for us to be an organization that can beat its chest to say that it is it meets its legal requirements and with a correct leadership and all of that, so that it is a partnership kind of, so that the Microsoft too, we say we have partnership with some organizations where we can learn from when we are having webinars together or when we interact. So I believe that with what SCARE has done to us and seeing SCARE team moving everywhere to the benefit, the anchor organizations, I believe that most of the anchor organizations could also have access to this grant if they so desired and apply to push for it. So that is it. Because as you said, the grant has done so much for us so far. And the way it is structured is that in every year, as the year is ending, you will see a mail telling you that, yes, your grant is ending too, because when you subscribe to them at your organization or at individual level, you pay money for them, they expire as the year runs out. But in this case now, we will just have a mail from SCARE, and then it will come with 0 costs. So a form will be given to us to now fill. And whenever we fill the form, we are automatically activated until when 10 years come to pass. And so this before these 10 years, we know that the benefits we are deriving from this are so enormous. Within the 10 years, we know we are going to, the visibility we have there and the continuous partnership. We learn a lot too from the webinars they're organizing. Anytime they organize, they have us on their list. We're always participants in it. We're learning further other things from what SCARE has taught us. So it is not something. It's not something to really joke with. If any other person to want to go into it, because the way they are dealing with us, they are prepared to really help local CSOs to catch up with the global trend. You know, the word is global village now. So the idea is when we were just operating locally here, it is SCARE intervention. Interaction with SCARE and this kind of people that have now enabled us to make sure that our website is 24 hours functional. And we now know that we have partners that even when we are sleeping, our activities and the experiences we are sharing with them is up there across the globe. And so it is something that we will continue to be proud of. No amount of money can be quantified with this grant that we have with Microsoft, because SCARE has already made us to be acquainted to its series of webinars, and sometimes it's resource partners we organize and all that. We have to divide our team to participate so that we will all aggregate the knowledge and put it on the table to learn from what we have studied from all these places. So now Microsoft is giving us more of such webinars, but we're already used to attending them because we know what we have been benefiting from them. So I will advise every organization who want to really make use of these digital strategies to reposition itself for global competition, to embrace, to try to also attempt to get these resources. It mustn't be about money, about money. It is what for sustainability and impact. Then you have to look the other way, because these things are packages that will continue to enhance the efficiency of the organization and enable us to do certain things even without cost, money at hand, and still create impact, and thereby fulfilling our aims and objectives. So I would advise any organization to also try out the package and others.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gabriel. And before we go ahead with the next set of questions, I would like to address quickly the question I saw on the chat box on scales. Somebody's asking what scale is. Perhaps the person joined a bit late after the introduction. Scale is strengthening civic advocacy and local engagement project. It is a 5-year project funded by the good people of America through its United States Agency for International Development. The essence of the project is to build the capacity of Nigerian, the managerial, the organizational advocacy capacity of Nigerian CSO to effectively produce, to make Nigeria more accountable, transparent, democratic a space for effective public service delivery. It is a 5 years project that started in 2020 and is ending next year. So the core mandate is to build the capacity of Nigerian CSO. As you have heard, Gabriel is the executive director of Megoriya's Center for Youth Development, which is one of the scale partners, anchor partners. So that is the brief about scale project. So Gabriel, back to you, sir. Is it possible? Can you quantify in terms of amount how much you will have paid for those things that Microsoft is giving you free of charge, like the email to subscribe to their email, the Azure, the team, and other things that they have provided for you free of charge? Can you quantify in a year? Do you have an idea how much that will have cost your organization? And that is one. Two, the webinar that you talked about, that you have been invited anytime they're having their webinar. Is this webinar open to other who don't have existing grants with them? Thank you. Over.
Thank you so much, John. Yes, in terms, we attempted quantifying the amount that these awesome packages came with. And when you quantify in 10 years, it is what we got at a point is about 35 million naira. As I said here, about 35 million naira. And as I said here, even if Microsoft had given us that 35 million naira today, we will spend it within a year or two. And the value of the products they have given us now in the digital space would not be equal with the money. For us, the value of that partnership that we are having with them is far more than the money that they would have given us. So we count ourselves lucky to have gone for these resources, because it is something else in the digital space. Because and then there are webinars that are organizing to enhance our skills on how to operate these resources and how to succeed in them and other things. We will have to find out from them whether this can be shared with others, except maybe those they do share with their partners, including us here in Nigeria. We will have to, since we're already partners, we'll find out from them if they still want to. Because you understand that at ASIS, it was SCARE that invited them to come there and share their experiences with the SCARE partners. And that was where we strategically took advantage of it, and we had the package, which we are enjoying today. I think that as partners, we are still together. By the time we now speak with them, if anytime they organize such webinars, we will let them open so that we should share with our own partners so that others too can benefit from what is going on. They will be able to tell us, and we'll gladly relate it to you for onward distribution to all the participants. Mr. John.
Wow, Gabriel, thank you very much. And that will form part of our next step. 35 million, humongous. That's humongous. That is a big amount. For a CSO that is just starting to cough out to organization in order to access this platform. But here you are accessing it free of charge. So this humongous. My next question will be like, after 10 years, I know 10 years is such a long number of years. So after 10 years, what is your sustainability strategy? How do you intend still having access to this platform? Are you going to write on the follow-on grants for Microsoft to continue giving you access to this platform? Or is there anything that you are thinking that after 10 years you can do while you are still on that platform? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, our thinking is, and I think it will work rightly so, after 10 years, now with where SCARE has taken us to, with this kind of partnership with tech giants across the world like Microsoft, we're already running as an organization. So our prediction is that after 10 years, we'll be flying very high up like an eagle, because we know that with our visibility now, and now I can tell you that we get strange calls from elsewhere to hear more about what we're doing. It's because of this kind of partnership that SCARE has led us to. So our belief is that in 10 years' time, in fact, even Microsoft that we're partnered with, anytime we had contact together, we had a webinar and we were discussing. They also try to really let us know that they're also benefiting from what we're sharing. And that is very important for us. We believe that we're also contributing. We're also bringing something to the table. And so we believe after 10 years, the impact our experience with Microsoft and our interaction with SCARE would have created to other CSOs across the nation and across Africa, because we're already having such interactions already. Across Africa will be in such a manner that we will no longer be seen as an organization that is really based in Taraba alone. We see ourselves after 10 years as being so very far, courtesy of SCARE, our interaction with SCARE project. We can always continue to say this. We always say that our history from that moment on that we had with SCARE can never be complete without a mention of the SCARE project, because it has really taken us from where we were to something else. And it's just the beginning, because with this kind of partnership, we are seeing the prospects beyond what we can even imagine at this point. So wow. 10 years, awesome. A long time. We awesome. Still have about 9 years to go. And within 9 years, we'll be flying very high like eagles, because the prospects are already visible in our eyes at this point. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you very, very much. And before we move to the next segment of this webinar, I would like at this point to talk a bit about the OD Summit and also call for abstract. OD Summit, Organizational Development Summit, is a flagship, like I said, is a flagship event of SCARE project. And it is an event where the major players in the development sectors are brought together, and CSOs are brought together face to face with the private sectors to forge ahead on how to develop Nigerian CSO in a very sustainable manner. And during the summit, you have an opportunity to interact with the major donors in Nigeria. So it's a global event, it's an hybrid event where you can register. I think my colleague, Brimo or Princess, you can drop the registration link on the chat box. You can register. The event will take place here in Abuja. Due to some constraints, we will not be able to accommodate everybody physically. So you can participate virtually and physically. So when you register, you indicate. And also, if you have abstract that's related to this year, theme is on driving change and innovation for sustainability performance of Nigerian CSO. So if you have any theme, work that you've done that is regarding this theme of this year's OD Summit, you can write abstract, and our team that is reviewing the abstract will review it. If you are shortlisted, you'll be invited. There will be a follow-up. Maybe they will send you a template of presentation, and you'll be invited to present your abstract at that global event. It is a big event, hybrid event. It's being attended. The last time we had it last year, we have over 4,000 unique participants across the world, physical and virtual. So my colleague will drop the link to that registration and also drop the call for abstract. The call for abstract now has been extended to 30th of this month. So after 30th, that's the deadline for call for abstract. So so that is that on the OD Summit. And for African Social Impact Summit that is being hosted by Sterling One Foundation, with support from Scale Project, is coming up sometime in July this year. And you also be invited. It's also hybrid, that you can participate both physically or virtually as you choose to. And that event will happen in Lagos. Then the OD Summit is happening here in Abuja. For if you have questions, it's time you will indicate. And if you cannot, if you don't want to ask directly, you can drop your question on the chat box. And at this point, if you permit me, Gabriel, I will yield the floor to Brimo, my colleague, to moderate the next section, which is questions and answers. Question that is related to what you are doing around digital transformation, digital leveraging digital platform for organizational sustainability, performance, and resilience. You will answer those questions. The one that is most specific to scale, what the scale is all about, what Palladium is all about, I will try to come into answer. So, Brimo, over to you.
Thank you very much, John. Good afternoon, everybody. So if you have a question, you can just indicate by raising your hand. Once I see your raised hands, I'll add you to a group and enable you to unmute your mic, and then you can speak up and ask your question. You can also type your question in the chat box, like a few people have been doing. So that's how we'll go about it. Thank you very much.
Okay, Brimo, you can start. Do you want to start with those questions on the chat box? Because I've seen numerous questions on the chat box already. Do you want to start with those one?
Okay, I'll do that very quickly. For a lot of the questions that I see here, certain people are asking about the process of getting involved in the Microsoft intervention. While some other organizations are asking about how they can be a part of skill.
Sorry, Bremo, can
yes.
you pick the question one by one? When
okay,
you read one out,
so let's,
Gabriel or I will respond. Thank you.
Okay. So there's this question. Good afternoon. How can an organization become a skill partner? That question has been asked by about two people. So I think we should start with that one. How can an NGO become a skill partner?
Okay. Yeah. For you to become a skill partner, there are criteria. First, there's what we call notice of funding opportunity, NOVO or RFA, that our grant team sends out. Is very competitive. People will bid for it, and there's selection criteria that our grant team uses. Gabriel spoke glowingly about compliance with statutory regulations. There are certain statutory regulation checks that will be conducted, and also you have to be in operation for 1 year and all that. So there are criteria for you to be part of Scale Project. Then after that, other things will be follow up, and this is the work that is done by grant team. But at this point of the project's life, the project is closing next year. I don't think we can't onboard any new CSO for now. But other than this, other than being a core scale partner, you can also be a partner of Scale Project by the virtue of participating in a webinar like this, participating in the events organized by Scale, like the OD Summit, and the supported event that is being organized by other bodies that are being supported by Scale Project. You can leverage on that. In that way, you may not necessarily have to be a grantee, a sub-grantee in Scale Project, but you are benefiting maximally from the Scale Project. Thank you. I don't know whether I've answered the question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. John. Another question here. Two people are asking actually that how can we get involved in the Microsoft intervention? I think our moderator had tried to answer this, but maybe if you can just shed more light. Someone is asking what is the application process. So if there's any information that we can give about the application process and how an NGO can get involved in Microsoft intervention, I think that would be good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Brimo. I know that, yes, as an organization, they could have they have their website and people can go in and apply. But you know, because of how vast their reach is, our own interaction, our own way of getting to them came through this what SCARE has done when they specifically asked them to talk to their partners. And so it was seamless for us. The moment we were able to, we already established contact before we applied. We discussed, they heard brief about our organization and what we're doing, how those packages can help us. And with that brief, we applied, and it didn't take them long to get our profile, see who we were, and how we were operating. It was seamless. So, and I believe that since the indicated interest in intervening to ensure organizational sustainability and enhance, the efficiency around communication and networking and collaborations, they will not be willing to really restrict it to only us or maybe only a few. So people could actually visit their website and apply because they had already availed themselves. And anybody who has links, contact with it, even if you listen to this, the webinar, you participated in the webinar, that is where you develop interest in asking them. By the time you mention SCARE, they will know that these are the people that took us to ASIS last year and asked us to support their partners. So I think that the mention of the name SCARE can unlock some doors. Not to say you will not be qualified and you will just be taken. They know that with what we are doing with them so far, we know that SCARE has been able to prepare us before we came on board to really partner and interact with them. So I think there is some kind of reputation around SCARE in their ears at this point. So even if you are not a SCARE partner and you participate in a SCARE organized webinar, and you're able to mention that that's why you even heard they have a package like this, I think it will be able to ring a bell in their head immediately and you'll be able to get there. So provided organizations that have these requirements that we talked about before in the course of this discussion, they will be able to really apply and we might get there. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Gabriel. Thank you so much. Now, there are two quick follow-on questions, even though I think you may need a jotter to write out these answers. Someone is asking what the digital tools are. So what I understand from this question is they want to know the particular tools or the packages that came with the Microsoft package that you got. I know that's a whole lot. So if it's possible for you to go through them, I guess they want to understand so they know what to do. Then another person is asking a question which I know you've answered before. He was asking the process involved in applying to Microsoft, but I think you've already spoken about that. So if you can just take us through the digital tools that you got from Microsoft. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Brimo. Yes, the digital tools, even the digital tools, I was able to mention them in the course of our discussion. One of them is emails. Emails that enhance the internal communication of the organization, internal communication, both internal and external communication. We have emails, then we also have Microsoft Teams. If you can understand, even this meeting is organized using Microsoft Teams by SCARE. So these are some of the tools and what they can do for the organization. Another one is Azuri. This Azuri is a package that enables the computing of these for the organization for storage and documentation. It helps in this thing it helps in competition of cloud, this cloud system for organization, where you store a lot of things and they are heavily secured for the organization. And also Microsoft 365. These are packages that will help, that particular one can help in data analysis and many other things that you can do. By the time you begin to interact with the tools, you will see that the efficiency of what the things that you were doing before, the efficiency and how, because of their continuous coaching, how efficient their operations are. You will see the difference between just being there. Because if you use money to just buy the packages, they might not have the time to come and begin to also train you or to organize webinars and call you to come and participate, to know more about how to use the tools. So now it's like they're considering it as a partnership kind of, and that is why the tools I mentioned here and other small ones have enhanced our operations and are going to continue for the next 10 years. So, and they're the ones that organizations that have been using them, we know that, yes, you have to subscribe to them before you have access to them. But now we are going to have them free of charge for 10 good years. By then, they believe that, yes, we should be able to have, we should be able to be strong enough to do many more things that will help our organization's growth. That is their main objective. And that was where their own understanding with the SCAPE project, that the objective is to enhance our own communication capacity and communication networking and collaboration capacity. And with that, with a organizational capacity already being built by the SCAPE team, when you now enhance your communication, networking, and collaboration capacity across the globe, then the sky will be your limit. I think that is where SCARE has taken us to, and that is why we're telling our story. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And let me just add a quick addition. You know, you mentioned that the grant you got from Microsoft is worth about 35 million. It's actually not 35 million. It's $3,500 annually. That's what Microsoft gives you. The value of the things you get from Microsoft is $3,500 annually, and that's right now I think a dollar should be like 1,500. So your 35 million is actually small. As in your calculation of 35 million is a bit small. It's way more than 35 million what you're getting from Microsoft for non-profits. And
Wow.
yes, it's $3,500 annually. Then, of course, I'm sure it comes with email services. It comes with all of the Microsoft packages, talking about digital tools. It comes with Microsoft Teams for work. It comes with some amount of hosting, so you can host your website on Microsoft Azure for free. You know, in quotes. Of course, you probably pay for your domain name, which is maybe like 20,000 naira or 25,000 naira. But the hosting charges, which would have cost you maybe up to $800 or more or less, will go with your Microsoft package and all of that. So those are some of the things that you stand to benefit when you are subscribed with the Microsoft for non-profits and all. So congratulations to you once more, sir.
Yeah, Bremo, thank you for addition. I just wanted to ask Gabriel. I believe this grant you can actually follow on. That is after 10 years. Can you reapply? You know you've passed through this process because I know you are already positioned yourself to you can pay for that amount, whether it's 35 million or more than 35 million. But is there a possibility that you can even reapply, or is it one-off application? Is there a possibility? Over.
Yes, definitely they can reapply.
Gabriel?
Well, yes, thank you so much.
Okay,
yes,
it's back. Beautiful.
Okay, go ahead.
As an organization, we can reapply. That is
Okay,
why,
yeah, okay.
yes, because our interaction with them shows that they also value partnership. And as they said, they always also learn from our experience. And now I believe that if this package is over, the reapplying to continue with the partnership will be something that they will also be interested in. Provided we do things, we're able to give them feedback on how this thing has helped us, because that was actually the objective. Yeah. So we can actually reapply.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. Bremo, over. The next set of questions. Bremo, go continue with the next set of questions on the chat box before you request for anyone that wants to speak.
Okay, so the questions, some of the questions we're having now are around the OD summit.
Okay.
Yes, so someone is asking what's the abstract for the OD summit to be centered around. So my colleague Abigail has shared the flyer for the call for abstracts. So once you click that, you will see all you need to know about the abstract. Somebody else is asking for how they can contact Mr. Gabriel. So I'll leave that to you and then Mr. Gabriel to respond to. Thank you.
Gabriel, it's not me.
Thank you. Thank you, Bremo and John. Yes, contacting us is not difficult. The organizers of this webinar, Mr. John and Bremo, who are speaking, they have our contact. In fact, we're an anchor under the project they are leading, and they have our contact in and out. Every contact of ours is with them. So they could be able to share with everybody who needs it. And you are free to call us 24 hours. There is no time that is odd to call us, so that wherever, as I said earlier in the talk, we said that yes, all that we have learned from SCARE, since they asked us not to be stingy with it, we've been generous with what we have learned. Any organization that asks us for support, we always do that. Even those who are setting up, we'll try to let them know that you don't even start with if you want to be the executive director, don't come and be on the board and be the chairman of board and executive director at the same time, because it will not turn out good. So we are providing this services like that as SCARE wants it, because they always ask us, how have you been able to help others? And also we have been giving that. So anybody can contact us anytime, and we are ready to answer you, especially the fact that you are participating in this webinar that is organized by our mentors. We're not going to hide anything from you that will help your organization.
Gabriel, thank you very much. And as a follow-on to that, we want to know the next outcome of this webinar in terms of what you've done with the participants. So you can drop your email. There's no problem about that. You can drop your email on the chat box. They can reach out to you, but just let us know how they have benefited. Those who have reached out to you, they have benefited from it. Thank you. Bremo, over.
Okay, so someone is asking how an organization can participate in skill trainings.
I think
what I understand is probably an organization that is not in the skill cluster, but they want to be able to participate in skill training. Is there a place where they can get information all the time or something? I think that's what they mean.
Yes. Yes. The point is, our training is very specific, and before we conduct any training, there's always need assessment or need analysis that is done before we do any training. And those organizations, you see us going around Nigeria training, where the organization we conducted capacity as organizational capacity assessment for, gaps were identified, and the training models were developed based on the identified gaps. And the training models were developed in such a way that it will address those specific gaps that were identified. So in such training, it is always tailored towards those organizations, which somebody, an organization that is not part of scale project may not necessarily benefit from. However, there are a lot of resources that we have in scale that you can leverage on. For instance, this platform that we are using, it happens every month. And scale has 5 components. This is just component 1. Component 2 also do something around webinar like this. This is a big resource that you can always learn from. The knowledge you are getting from here, some people are charging to get it. Then this is number 1. 2, the event that is open for everybody to participate, like the OD Summit that is coming up in June 25 and 26 of this year. That OD Summit, you can participate, even though you cannot participate physically, you can participate virtually. So those are the platform you can use. And not only that, Scale also have what we call CSO Atlas, where you can go in there, you register on the CSO Atlas. I think Brian will drop the link on the CSO Atlas registration. If you are BMO CSO in Nigeria, you can register on that platform, and there are a lot of resources that we pull in there, especially in the management information system section of that CSO Atlas. So there are a lot of information we pull in there, so you can access these resources that Scale are pushing out there on the virtual platform without necessarily restricting yourself to coming for a training that is organized for partners. You know, training organized for partners, there we counted, you know, resources are allocated, budget are prepared. So we know the number of people who are coming. So those one are tailored training, but they are general training that you can always leverage. You can always leverage on to improve your organizational performance, effectiveness, and resilience. I don't know whether I've answered your question. Thank you. Bremo, next question.
Thank you very much. Someone is asking that at the OD Summit, is it only abstracts that will be presented or full papers? Thank you.
Yes, we have, once your abstract scale through or is selected based on our predetermined criteria, if a presentation format template will be sent to you. So it is that template you use to do your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so some people are asking for the phone number of Mr. Gabriel.
The email suffices.
And Brimo. Yes, I think the emails will work. The emails will work. So I'll just type in my email address here for anybody that would want to reach. And then Mr. Gabriel, please, you can share your email address too. Thank you. That's all the questions we have right now.
Okay. So you can ask the rest if they can. Anybody wants to ask? Yes. Is
there any other question? If you want to ask verbally, you can just lift your hand, indicate by raising your hand, and we'll unmute you so you can ask your question. And if you want to type it, you can type out the question. Thank you.
Okay, as we wait for that, Gabriel, I have, I think this last or second to the last question for you. I want to know, other than the package from Microsoft, is there any other digital tool that you are using in your organization using artificial intelligence, all those, is there other digital tool that you are using in your organization?
Yes, of course. We are using other tools. We are using all these social media tools, Twitter, which has become X now. We use WhatsApp platforms. We're even also making use of artificial intelligence with a new way of thinking to also solve our problems. These are all digital platforms that ordinarily an organization that wants to succeed in this 21st century cannot do without, because they all come together to take you to areas where nobody would have known you. Then they reach, and what you are doing, what we are doing, is being spread with this kind of platforms, and so we are making use of all of them. It's just because that of Microsoft has come with a partnership kind of, and for more trainings for us outside what Scale has been doing for us. That is why it is unique and different. So we're using these tools all.
Thank you very much. At this juncture, I think I've seen a hand raised from Dr. Thank God Okusun, who is an organizational development advisor, a component one lead on the Scale project. He is in charge of this component that is organizing the webinar. Bremo, if you unmute him, Dr. TG, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You can hear me. I just wanted to ask a question from Megodia. How is he thinking of building the digital technology department that can enhance the human resource, cloud documentation, infographics, issues about staff development around this privilege they have? Are they thinking of developing or deliberately recruiting an expert that can help to harness all of these privileges so that going forward they can have a huge human resource department that rely on ease of documentation and recruitment and all that? Are you taking advantage of this to have a huge one? Are you thinking of recruiting someone that understands all of the 360 platform of Microsoft, such that this will not just be learning, but documenting a huge platform that can take you to a place you have already mentioned? Are you thinking of that? Over and out.
Thank you, Dr. TG. Yes, anytime we interact with the Scale team, is a learning call for us. And most of the ideas we implement, how strategic to reposition or to go about them, I must say, do come from Scale. And to stimulate us to be more innovative, that one too has always been coming from our mentors, the Scale. So I just want to say that this one you have asked has just stimulated thinking in me as we are speaking. So we will sit as a team and quickly do something around there, because we have so many years left with the Microsoft grant. We're just within the first 1 year. And by the time we begin to think towards the suggestion you're making of having a department that will specifically be dedicated to documenting what is there, and
Hello, Gabriel. Hello, Gabriel. Is it from my end? Can some other person hear Gabriel? Bremo, Princess, can you hear Gabriel?
No, I can't hear Gabriel. I can't hear Gabriel.
Dr. TG. Okay.
No, Gabriel, internet issue.
It may drop off. I think Gabriel was trying to answer a question posed by Dr. TG, and he's thinking that the question has alerted his thinking ability to see how he will pull the resources that are made available for them on the Microsoft to improve human resources documentation. I think he has spoken to documentation on the use of Azuri. Say Azuri is actually, they are effectively using Azuri for storage in the organization. Then for around human resources and staff development, how they can leverage this platform that Microsoft has granted them on filter access for 10 years. I think he said that he's going to sit down with his team to think through it, how to better use this for human resource development, people management, and the rest. Thank you. Okay. Gabriel, once you are back, you let us know.
Yeah, I'm actually, yes, I'm back.
Okay, go ahead. I was just rephrasing what you said.
What I said, exactly, exactly. And that is exactly what I said, that anytime we interact with the SCADE team, it's a learning curve for us, and it stimulates the way we think about how to go about things too. So by the time this question from Dr. TJ has also stimulated a learning for us and something that we could do to benefit our organization and other organizations in Nigeria and Africa at large in the coming years. So thank you.
Thank you. Bremo?
Yes, so there's a question here. Okay, so about 2 people are asking if they can get the, I think they mean the recording after this, after the webinar. So they would like to know if they can get the recordings or the slides, as they called it. Then there's another question that aside Microsoft, what other digital strategy can be employed for organizational sustainability?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you. I think John had asked that question earlier, and I've said all this, the social media platforms are digital platforms, and how strategic you can now use them to enhance communication, networking, and collaboration for your organization is how strategic you are able to approach them. Because a lot of us who are participants here are on social media pages. Some of us are on Twitter 24 hours. Some are on WhatsApp. Some are on Facebook and all of that. But how strategic are we using these platforms to enhance the efficiency or networking for our organization, to enhance communication that will help our organization and all of that? So, how you strategically engage these platforms will become a strategy for your organization's growth. So they are all available apart from the ones that from the grant from Microsoft. Microsoft. These other platforms, social media platforms that we know of, can effectively also be applied, because the numerous SCADE training has repositioned us to always see opportunities in everything that comes around us to impact the society or to grow our organization. So people can begin to look at these platforms in this perspective. As I said earlier, I say the one with Microsoft, the only difference is that this one comes with a kind of partnership with them directly. And so they do put us on their list for further coaching, trainings that will help enhance our operations in them. If not, all other platforms like AI, digital platforms like AI, WhatsApp, Facebook, X, all of that are also digital platforms that you can effectively use strategically use them to enhance all the collaboration and networking for your organization, as I've said. Thank you.
Remo?
Okay, thank you. So someone is asking here, even though I think it's not directly related to this presentation. He said, how does skill promote disability inclusion? Of late, the implementation of disability are not promoted by NGOs. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, how does skill promote disability inclusion? I think skill is very deliberate about social inclusion, gender, and social inclusion. In fact, there's a whole, even in the project awards and the rest, some of our partners that are spread across Nigeria, some of them are actually organizations that are owned and managed by persons with disability and with a project focus, a thematic focus on enhancing the well-being of the people living with disability. For instance, we work with JONAPID. We work with JONAPID is a joint national association of persons with disability. We work with JONAPID. We work with IFA, which is an Inclusive Friends Association, and many other disability organizations. Not only that, if we are considering venue for our project program implementation, we also consider if such venues are user-friendly for those who are living with disability. And in our OD summit that is coming up, we always have signs language interpreter, and we consider this inclusion, and we mainstream them into our project planning and implementation. So they are not left. We are very deliberate about inclusion, disability inclusion in our project implementation. Thank you. Next.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. I think that's all the questions we have for now.
All right, there's one hand that is up. Can you find out the hand?
No, there's no hands that is up. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right. As we begin to wind down, I think we've learned a lot. Mr. Gabriel, on the final note, you've done very, very well. We can't thank you enough. On the final note, what is your recommendation to Nigerian CSO and specifically to the participant of today's webinar? What are your thoughts? What are your recommendations for them vis-a-vis the use of digital tools for organizational sustainability and performance?
Thank you so much. Thank you. My recommendation would be that maybe I have background in the media. I believe in visibility, as in so much, because whatever one is doing, a CSO could be doing, as we've been doing over the years with small visibility, and we have been there. Visibility is something that can take you from where you are to somewhere you never even believe you will be in years. So I believe that CSOs should begin to strategically strategically use the digital platforms available to us. And also, my advice again would be that this series of webinar series that SCARE will organize on different topics that have to do with CSOs, that a lot of people look at as maybe a waste of time. It's not like that at all. Any learning that you participate in, there is a day it will come to help when you will not even imagine where you only imagine that if you had missed that learning, you wouldn't have come to this understanding. So my advice and recommendation is that we should always strategically use this and use digital platforms to enhance what we're doing, the work we're doing, because you can't even imagine where it will go and who is seeing it and how, when you are approached, that is when you will understand what it means. And on the Microsoft grant, those who are willing, I will still encourage them, because the people who are happy with what they are doing with us, and I'm sure they will be willing to add more hands there if people apply, and especially mention that they are coming from scale. That's true. Again, CSO should also see, not always think that it's only through money, with money that we'll be able to continue to create impact or live your dreams. You could apply, and when you apply to organizations, especially private sector, and it is not money, the belief is more. The belief about you willing to create impact is clearly seen by these organizations. So my advice here would be that let us employ some of these approaches to see how we can grow our organizations, other than always just writing proposals and also asking for money to be able to intervene in happenings in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think since we still have time, we will be able to accommodate just one question from Patient Agbamo. Patient Agbamo, Brimo, if you can unmute Patient Agbamo. Patient, the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Well, mine is actually not a question, more like an observation. But before then, I would like to thank the speaker, Mr. Gabriel, for the job well done. Although I joined late, which was not my intention, I got confused with the time zone. So that brings me down to my observation. From the mail I received training, I noticed it was UTC, right? Or West Central Africa time zone. And checking the participants here, I'm seeing are Nigerians. Please, is there a way we can have like a general recognized time? Time, or maybe adding it to the link or to the information sent, because even with the reminder mail, I just got it that it will start soon, not like it will start in 30 minutes, in an hour, like that. So just for the sake of me and some other person meeting, if we can have that considered for subsequent meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patience. Your observation is sustained and is noted. However, the mail we sent out, I think it was specific about the West African time. But I think going forward, we can be specific to tailor it either to using GMT, either to add or to minus the GMT, maybe 9 GMT plus 1 or so. So that has been noted. Thank you. All right, Janet Adeyemi, you can go ahead. Janet, I believe you are unmuted. Can you go ahead?
Janet, please unmute your mic and speak. There's also a Solomon Ifeanyi.
Okay, Solomon Ifeanyi, can you go ahead, please?
Unmute your mic, please, and speak.
We have 9 minutes.
Everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Gabriel and indeed, Mr. John. I just want to, I joined in earlier, but I had issues with my connection here, so I missed most of the sections. So I wanted to ask if the recording could be shared to participants. That way, to enable us catch up with some of the discussion that we missed.
Solomon, thank you. Bremo, please, as soon as we are done, just drop the recording on this chat box. This chat box, you can always access it and get the recording. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's one more person. Janet Adeyemi, can you unmute yourself and speak, please? If not, we will begin to wrap it up from here. All right. I think that is the end of the questions and answer segment. By means of next step, the speaker has given his final thoughts. Next steps from this end is that Megodia Center for Youth Development is going to find out from Microsoft how Nigerian CSO can be part of their webinar without necessarily be their guarantee. And once that is done, please let us have the information. To the CSO here, the participants here who was for CSO or owners of CSO can easily visit Microsoft website and apply for Microsoft grants. And just look at the eligibility criteria and see what the systems you can put in place and apply. You never can tell. 3 is that you can also apply for Google for non-for-profit. There's a non-for-profit angle of the Google which you can also apply. And finally, from our lead speaker, discussant, is asking that we have to embrace digital tools for visibility. Perhaps it's more, he likes visibility because he's a communicator, he's a mass communicator. So we have to utilize the digital tools at your disposal. They are everywhere. Artificial intelligence, if you don't have this one from Microsoft, to increase the visibility of your organization, your website, your social media touch points, such as X, YouTube, Facebook, so many of them, even LinkedIn. So you have to just utilize this tool to do what you want to do. I think that would be a wrap from here on behalf of the Scale project, on behalf of the Chief of Party and the Component 1 lead, Dr. Thank God. I want to deeply appreciate the lead discussant, Gabriel, the Executive Director of Megodia Center for Youth Development, for finding time to be here. We will spend over 2 hours, about 2 hours here. Thank you for being here. Thank you, our audience. Without you, we will not be here. And always watch out for Scale webinar that is being done every month. Thank you, my team, Brimo and Princess. We are working from the background here. Thank you. We appreciate your time. It's a wrap from here. Over. Thank you. Au revoir.
Thank you.